Okay, for our next drawing, we're going to add a couple of new tools. I'm going to add the fillet tool and the mirror tool in order to create this drawing here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a rectangle. So this rectangle here is going to be 10 by 6. So I'm going to create a rectangle 10 by 6. Okay. Now, next thing I need is I need a rectangle on the inside, and that is going to be offset by 0.50. So I'm just going to create offset 0.5, enter, and create that. Now you'll notice that these have rounded edges and mine have angular edges. We are going to use the fillet tool to change that in just a moment. So what we are going to do now is we are going to find the center of this rectangle in order to be able to draw our inner rectangle and our circle. So what we're going to do first of all is we are going to explode this the way that we did last time, and we are going to find our center point. So we are going to offset. Center of 10 is 5. And center of 6 is 3. And there's our center point. So what we can do now is we can draw our circle. So our circle here is a radius of 2. From one of our previous drawings, we had a diameter circle in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click that, and I'm going to come here to circle center radius, and I'm going to draw my circle radius 2. Now, if I wanted to, I could have left it as diameter, and I could have done diameter 4. Either way would have worked just fine. All right, so now what I need to do is I need to draw this rectangle that's in here. So I see that it's 5.2 across and 1.2 high. I'm going to use my offset tool, and I'm going to come up 0.6. Which is half of 1.2. It looks like it went down. That's fine too. And I'm going to come over half of 5.2 is 2.6. There we go. And so I'm going to create my rectangle here. .2 tab 120. Yep. Okay, so I have a bunch of reference lines here that I don't need, so I'm going to delete those. I'll delete this reference line, this reference line, this reference line, and this reference line. Okay, so let's use the trim tool to get rid of those 2 lines in there, and then we'll start talking about our new tools. So one of our new tools is called the fillet tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to where the fillet is, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click that, and I'm going to see that the fillet radius is 1. So it says select the first object or, and then it gives me a little drop down menu there. So if I control click, what I can do is I select radius. It's going to say specify the fillet radius. The fillet radius is 1. And so now what I can do is I can grab my 2 lines, then do the same thing again. There. So it's important to be able to do that fillet first, because you'll notice that there is no dimension for the center lines for these circles here. So the only way that I can learn how to place these circles is by getting the fillets first and then finding the center point for those fillets. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to find the center mark command. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the circular arc to add the center mark, and there it is. I'm going to do that right there. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a circle, And then I'm going to show you how to use the mirror tool in order to reproduce those circles in their proper place. So you'll notice that there is instead of an R next to these dimensions, there is a circle with a line through it. That means diameter. So I have here my radius circle, so I need to change that back to diameter. And I'll notice that my first diameter is 1. So I can just come in here in the middle and I can go 1. And then my second diameter is 0.6, so I can go back in the middle and do 0.6. And there. I now have my double circles. So we can delete that center mark now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mirror this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mirror this. So what I need to do now is I need to find a point along which I'm going to mirror it. Since I want to mirror it at exactly same position, I want to find my center point here. So I deleted my center points before. When I did this before, I found center lines using offset, but I want to try a different thing here. What I want to do is I want to use the center mark command for the circle to give me my center line. And what I can do now is I can use that to mirror my circles. So I'm going to select my circles. I'm going to come down here to mirror, which looks like 2 triangles. And it's going to say specify the first point of the mirror line. So I'm going to mirror there and then drag it across. And there we go. Do I want to erase the source objects? No, I want to leave the source objects. So now what I want to do is I want to mirror this on the other side. So I'm going to select all of those. Come back to mirror. And then bring it down. Do I want to erase the source objects? No. So all that's left is how to dimension all of this. So some of the dimensioning we remember. I notice that is very small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to adjust this. I'm probably not going to go all the way up to 2 this time. It will try 1 and see how 1 looks. Text and arrow size. Let's see how 1 looks. 1 is way too big. So let's try 0.5. Let's see how it looks. That's pretty good. That's still kind of big. Let's go down to 0.25. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to dimension our circles and our arcs. So what we are going to do is we are going to come to the dimension tool and we are going to just create a leader line right there. So that's 2. If you're having trouble getting the dimension properly, sometimes it might help to zoom in. There we are. Then we're going to zoom out again. There we have it.